Greetings, distinguished scholars of the human condition and the loyal vanguard of Mr. Magazine. You have arrived once again at the sanctuary where the frenetic noise of the tabloid press is silenced, replaced by the measured, analytical, and empathetic voice of true storytelling. We do not merely report, we excavate. We do not simply observe, we understand. Before we unlock the heavy doors of today's profoundly moving narrative, a story that will undoubtedly alter your perception of romance in the public eye, I must ask you to perform the rites of our community. Ensure that you are subscribed, that the notification bell is tolling in rhythm with our uploads, and, if you wish to stand as a pillar of this independent journalistic endeavor, please click the Join button. Your patronage is the cornerstone upon which we build these cathedrals of truth. Today, we turn our lens toward a union that has captivated the collective imagination, the marriage of Hande Erçel and Kerem Bürsin. But we are not here to discuss the superficial glitter of diamonds or the cut of the fabric. We are here to discuss a moment that occurred in the shadows, away from the flashbulbs, a moment so raw, so sacred, and so painfully beautiful that it redefines the very essence of their bond. It is a story of ghosts, of grief, and of a love that transcends the mortal coil. If you value content that prioritizes the soul over the spectacle, please press the like button now, and let us begin our descent into the heart of this emotional storm. In the lexicon of celebrity culture, a wedding is typically a performative act, a grand stage play designed for the consumption of the masses, where every smile is choreographed and every kiss is lit for maximum engagement. However, the union of Kerem Bürsin and Hande Erçel appears to have shattered this shallow paradigm with a quiet, devastating ferocity. Reports emerging from the hermetically sealed inner circle of the couple suggest that immediately following the formalization of their vows, the ink barely dry on the marriage certificate, the couple did not rush toward the champagne fountains or the waiting embrace of the paparazzi. Instead, they orchestrated a disappearance. Leaving behind the cacophony of the celebration, the laughter of friends, and the intoxicating hum of newfound matrimony, they retreated into the sanctuary of a private vehicle. It was an exodus from the light into the twilight, a journey not toward a honeymoon suite of opulent luxury, but toward a place of profound silence and eternal rest. The destination was the final resting place of Eileen Erçel, the matriarch whose departure from this world years ago left a canyon in Hande's soul that no amount of fame or fortune could ever bridge. One must pause to appreciate the psychological weight of this decision. In the moment of her greatest joy, Hande's instinct, guided, we are told, by the gentle hand of her new husband, was to seek the blessing of the one person who could not be there. It serves as a poignant reminder that grief is not a linear process with an expiration date, it is a circular companion that sits beside us at every milestone. For Hande, the wedding was incomplete without the metaphysical presence of her mother. To fully comprehend the magnitude of this gesture, we must turn our analytical gaze upon Kerem Bürsin. It is easy to dismiss leading men as mere faces on a screen, devoid of interiority. Yet, the details of this pilgrimage reveal a man of extraordinary emotional intelligence and empathetic depth. According to the whispers of those who walk the corridors of their private lives, this visit was not a spontaneous detour born of a fleeting whim. It was, in fact, a carefully constructed act of love, planned weeks, perhaps months, in advance by Kerem himself. He understood, with a clarity that borders on the telepathic, that for Hande, the joy of the wedding day would be inextricably laced with the melancholy of absence. He knew that the empty chair at the table would scream louder than the music. And so, he sought to fill that silence. He planned the logistics, the timing, and the route, keeping it a guarded secret to shield the moment from the intrusion of the outside world. When the car began its somber route toward the cemetery, Hande was reportedly unaware of the destination. As the familiar gates of the burial ground came into view, the realization washed over her, not as a shock, but as a tidal wave of relief and sorrow. Witnesses to the aftermath describe a scene of biblical emotional intensity. Standing before the cold stone that bears her mother's name, Hande, now a wife, yet forever a grieving daughter, is said to have broken down. The armor of the strong woman that she wears so seamlessly for the public was dismantled. Through tears that bridged the gap between the past and the future, she reportedly whispered, "I wish you could have seen this day, Mom." In that moment, Kerem did not offer platitudes. He did not try to fix the pain. He simply held her hand, anchoring her to the earth while her spirit communed with the heavens. His gaze, described by onlookers as protective and infinitely tender, offered the only answer necessary: I am here, and she is with us. The narrative deepens further with the revelation of a material token that carries immense spiritual weight. It is rumored that during this twilight vigil, or perhaps in the quiet moments immediately following, Kerem bestowed upon Hande a gift of singular significance, a custom-designed necklace bearing the name of Hande Erçel. This was not merely a piece of jewelry, it was a talisman. By placing her mother's name around her neck on her wedding day, Kerem was symbolically intertwining the three of them, husband, wife, and the eternal matriarch. It is said that Hande has not removed this artifact since that night, wearing it as a second skin, a tangible reminder that her mother's protection is woven into the very fabric of her marriage. We must pause here, amidst this heavy beauty, to turn the mirror toward you, the Mr. Magazine family. This story touches upon the universal nerve of how we honor those we have lost during the moments of our greatest triumphs. Have you ever felt the acute pain of an absence during a celebration? How did you choose to honor the memory of a loved one at a wedding or a graduation? We invite you to share your stories in the comments below. Your experiences add a layer of human reality to these celebrity narratives, transforming this channel from a broadcast into a community. And while you are formulating your thoughts, do not forget to verify your subscription and consider the join button. Your support allows us to continue crafting these deep dive investigations. The ripple effect of this private pilgrimage, once leaked to the public sphere, was nothing short of a digital awakening. The social media landscape, often a toxic wasteland of judgment and cynicism, was suddenly transformed into a garden of empathy. Upon learning of the cemetery visit, fans and observers alike were struck by the authenticity of the gesture. The hashtag #Hursisaninli, everything with you, began to trend, not as a marketing campaign, but as a collective sigh of emotion. Comments flooded the digital ecosystem, articulating a shared sentiment: this is what true love looks like. Kerem's kindness breaks the heart and heals it simultaneously. Eileen Mom is watching from the VIP section of heaven. This reaction underscores a critical shift in what audiences crave from their idols. We are no longer impressed by helicopters and 10-tiered cakes. We are starved for humanity. We are starving for proof that love, in its purest, most sacrificial form, still exists. Kerem and Hande gave the world that proof, not by shouting it from a rooftop, but by whispering it in a graveyard. This event has fundamentally altered the trajectory of their public narrative. They are no longer just the beautiful couple from a romantic comedy series. They have been transfigured into figures of resilience and depth. The public now sees them not as two actors playing a role, but as two souls navigating the complex topography of grief and love, hand in hand. Following the emotional catharsis at the graveside, the couple did not return to a raucous party. Instead, reports indicate that they proceeded to a modest, secluded restaurant by the sea. A location chosen for its tranquility rather than its exclusivity. There were no flashing lights, no red carpets, no curated menus for the press. There was only the sound of the waves and the quiet murmur of family. This dinner serves as the final act of this specific drama. It was here that the merging of the families was solidified. The reaction of the families, particularly the matriarchs and siblings, adds another layer of warmth to this story. Hande Erçel, Hande's sister and the keeper of the family's shared memory, reportedly spoke through tears, stating, "If my mother were here today, she would be the happiest among us." This validation from the sister is crucial. It confirms that Kerem has not just married Hande, but has been accepted as a custodian of the family's emotional legacy. Furthermore, the reaction of Kerem's mother is equally telling. It is said that she embraced Hande with a maternal ferocity, uttering the words, "You are our daughter now." In a culture where family dynamics can often be fraught with tension, this seamless integration is a testament to the purity of the couple's bond. It demonstrates that this marriage is not merely a legal contract between two individuals, but a spiritual treaty between two tribes, ratified by love and sealed by the memory of the departed. There are whispers, unconfirmed but persistent, that during the visit to the grave, Hande took a series of photographs. These are not images destined for the glossy pages of a magazine or the fleeting feed of an Instagram story. They are, we are told, destined for the private archives of her heart. The fact that these images have remained private, that they have not been commodified for likes or engagement, is perhaps the most dignified aspect of this entire affair. It speaks to a boundary that the couple has drawn. There are parts of their life that belong to the world, but their grief and their deepest loves belong only to them. As we look toward the future, one wonders how this foundation of emotional honesty will shape their marriage. A relationship that begins with such a profound acknowledgement of mortality and memory is built on bedrock, not sand. They have demonstrated that they are capable of holding space for each other's darkest pains, a skill that is essential for the longevity of any union. The tabloids may ask, where will they vacation, or what is their next project, but the real question, the one that matters, has already been answered. They will go wherever their shared heart leads them, guided by the unseen but ever-present light of a mother's love. As we draw the curtains on this poignant chapter of the Mr. Magazine Chronicles, let us reflect on the lesson that Kerem Bürsin and Hande Erçel have inadvertently taught us. They have reminded us that the most romantic gestures are not the grand public declarations, but the quiet, private acts of witnessing. To witness someone's pain, to hold their hand as they weep for what is lost, and to honor the ghosts that walk beside them, this is the highest form of intimacy. It is easy to love someone when they are smiling in a wedding dress. It requires a different, stronger kind of love to stand with them in a cemetery and say, I see your pain, and I love that too. We will continue to monitor the journey of this remarkable couple, reporting not just on their career milestones, but on the human story that unfolds between the lines. But for now, we leave them in that quiet restaurant by the sea, surrounded by family, with the memory of Hande Erçel smiling down upon them. Before you return to the surface world of trivial news and fleeting distractions, I ask you to honor the depth of this story. If this narrative moved you, if it made you think about your own loved ones, please subscribe to Mr. Magazine. Press the like button so that this story of genuine love can find its way to others who need to hear it. And, for those who wish to ensure that true journalism continues to thrive in the age of the algorithm, please click join. Your support is not just a donation, it is a declaration that you value substance over style. What are your thoughts on Kerem's gesture? Do you believe that grief and joy can truly coexist? Let us know in the comments below. We read every word, for your voice is the echo that completes our broadcast. From all of us here at Mr. Magazine, where the heart of the celebrity is revealed. Good night, and may you always find someone who will hold your hand in the dark.